Namaste, everybody. This is Lisa A. Romano, the Breakthrough Life Coach, and today we'll be discussing the ability to transcend fear and the value of trusting the human vehicle, the most divine, miraculous piece of technology that exists, in my humble opinion, in this universe. So, on my journey towards healing and recovering from things like panic disorder and depression, anxiety, self-doubt, codependency, fear, rumination, obsessive compulsive thinking, obsessive cleaning, obsessive people-pleasing, I began to investigate this concept of fear because what I realized was fear had the ability to knock out any capacity my divine body had to overcome what I believe were sometimes very simple situations. For instance, if a friend of mine that I thought I was close with, if she had decided to go out with a bunch of other friends and had not included me, that had the ability to make me feel worthless. A condescending or passive-aggressive comment or look from one of my parents had the ability to sweep me into a dark emotional abyss. A confrontation with my brother or my sister had the ability to cause me to ruminate for days and sometimes weeks. I had a disagreement with a sister-in-law of mine from many years ago, and I was in bed for 3 days with a migraine. And she went on with her merry life. Didn't seem to bother her. And so as I was healing and really doing my spiritual recovery work, I began to understand that it was fear. Something was happening with fear in my brain, in my body. Fear was causing me to lose the ability to think effectively, productively, clearly, and like a capable adult. For most of my life, I responded to stressful situations like a child, although I never really understood that. Now I understand that. I understand duality of mind. And so what I've come to believe is that fear is very much related to a lack of faith, a lack of hope, and a lack of trust. It is related to this sense that we are all alone, that there is no way that we are capable or enough to face or to overcome what is before us. In our moments of severe panic, we feel totally isolated, disconnected, and as if the walls of our life are closing in. It's a very alone feeling, a very cold, disconnected feeling. And I believe that that goes back to childhood and feeling alone and disconnected from the divine beings that created us, and what I refer to as attachment trauma. And because that wound of detachment, that disconnection has never been healed, we've been running from it our whole life. We've been looking for this sense of connection our entire life. And we are constantly focused outside of the self, unconscious, completely unconscious to this idea that in our people-pleasing, in our rumination, in our trying to find the perfect job, in trying to, take just the perfect selfie, in trying to respond to a Facebook post in just the right way, blah, 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 blah. All of these are attempts, in my opinion, at least they were for me, an attempt to flee this intense sense of aloneness within myself. And I believe the world is set up. And I do believe that, some religions have taught us that it is good to seek outside of yourself. The problem with this type of paradigm is that we're always searching. And when we're always searching, we're always running. And we never feel like we're good enough. And yet, we are born. When I say we, I'm talking about the self, is encapsulated in the most amazing and divine piece of technology. And yet, we're all outer focused. We think that our laptops are it. We think that our cars are it. We think that our cell phones are it. We think that social media is it. Wow, you know what Facebook is doing now? Wow, you know what Twitter can do now? And yet, when we think about the body, we take for granted that our body can do what no national defense system can do. Our body, think about it, takes in an apple, or takes in some oatmeal, or takes in a shake, and allows our body to stay animated. How is it that our body knows exactly what to do with the protein shake? It turns it into exactly what our body needs to sustain itself. Your kidneys are excreting all on their own. Your lungs pull in oxygen that the trees give off, and you breathe out carbon dioxide. I mean, can Facebook do that? Can Facebook turn oxygen into carbon dioxide, excrete it? Can Facebook really protect us the way our human body protects us? We get a cut, and immediately our amazing body, talk about computer, talk about internet, there's a whole World Wide Web right inside each and every one of us. And we underappreciate it. And that's because so many of us, especially in America, so many of us have been taught that we need to seek the good life. We need to seek the perfect family, the perfect relationship, the perfect this, the perfect that. And yet, right, when you close your eyes, when you take in a deep breath, when you swallow, amazing things are taking place in your body all the time. And so this idea that our happiness is outside of ourselves takes us away from the majesty and the divinity and the perfection that is right there within us, right where we are. So many of us, when we think about being alone, we feel terrified. We have to heal that. We have to heal this lack of self. We have to heal this sense of abandonment. We have to heal this sense of, I am not enough. We must return to center. When we go to the doctors and we tell them we have this ailment and that ailment, they go, oh, I have a pill for that. And sure, they do, but is that solving the problem? Most doctors are not taught to help their patients understand how divine and miraculous their bodies are. Doctors are taught to treat with medicine. They are taught to fix a problem with surgery. Again, this speaks to this sense that our Savior is outside of ourselves. Our sense of safety or our rescue is outside of ourselves. I know my parents, for instance, their 100% faith is in their doctor, and yet my mother and my father have a number of doctors that don't speak to one another, that do not meet on my parents' behalf, who are simply interested in the medications and the doses that they're on. And it saddens me very much so, because my parents have always been afraid to confront a doctor and say, well, what about this? And, well, what about that? Now, I'm not suggesting that doctors are bad people at all. I understand the training that doctors go through, and I understand that, it is really just the medical community, and doctors are taught that if a patient has high blood pressure, this is what we do. But wouldn't it be fabulous if our medical community would begin valuing more the absolute intelligence? And it's not artificial intelligence, it is the intelligence. Wouldn't it be awesome if our medical community and our religious communities began to send the message to people that they are enough, that what they have to do is get in touch with what they're feeling, learn how to stay in their bodies with their feelings so that they can transcend them, learn how to process painful emotions so they can dissipate and dissolve from the body and no longer harm them and cause blocks. Wouldn't it be wonderful if the people that we looked up to help save us taught us that we have the ability to save ourselves? I have the benefit and really the pleasure and the honor of coaching some physicians and surgeons, and it is so fabulous to hear them say things to their patients like, I didn't heal you. Your body healed you. I just helped your body heal you. I coached one surgeon and who was the chief of surgery from a very well-known hospital in Manhattan, New York. And when his patients came to him and said, oh, doctor, thank you for saving my mom, his response was, I didn't do it. Your mother's body did it. The intelligence in your mother's body healed her. I assisted. I made it easier for your mother's body to heal, but your mother's body healed itself. Think about the profound impact that has on the psyche of somebody who's afraid. My body can do this? My body healed itself? The purpose of this podcast is to help anyone out there listening learn to believe in the amazing vehicle and in the intelligence of your divine body. All that you need exists within you. Your body has one purpose, and that has been to support you and to take care of you. And the more you take care of your body, the more you will feel protected, capable, self-reliant, and so on. So today, dear ones, do what you can to return to the self. Do what you can to nurture this intelligence that has been within you. Do what you can to look within and to remember that your body is healing you and that within you is a divine inner being, a higher sense of self, a higher self that has the ability to shine love and light on any wound from the past and integrate you with your divine inner child so that you can live an amazing life. Namaste, dear ones. Namaste.